Another very useful type of column is a choice column, where you want to create a list of choices and they have to select from that list of choices. Now what I might do here, instead of just adding a column and making it a choice column, I'm actually going to modify one of our existing columns, and that is the doc type column. I'm sort of thinking this really should be a drop down because there's only so many different types of documents that we're going to load into this library. So to actually make a change to this particular column, I'm going to go into my Gear or Settings button, and I'm going to go into Library Settings. Because in here you can actually see the sorts of columns that have been created in this section here. And what you can do is you can actually edit existing columns. So this one that says Document Type, I'm going to click it. Once I click it, I can see that this is a single line of text. I'm going to change it to Choice. And then I'm going to go and save the changes. Actually, before I save the changes, what I'll do in here is I'll actually enter the choices. And I'm going to enter them in alphabetical order. So the choices will be, it'll either be an Excel file, or it'll be a PDF, or it'll be a Word document. And really those are the only three choices. So the column name is Document Type. It's now a choice type of column. This is the description. Required is still yes, unique values is still no, and these are the options that will appear in the choices. Now the choices will be shown as a drop down, but you could change it to radio buttons, and radio buttons just look like this, little buttons. Or you could change it to checkboxes, which are tick boxes, and allows you to choose more than one. But I don't want to choose more than one. It has to be one option. And I think a drop down would be better than radio buttons, so I might try it and see what it looks like. Allow fill-in choices? No. And the default value? I actually want it to be nothing, so I'm just going to leave it blank. So I'm going to scroll down now, and I'm going to go OK and see what the effect of this is. Now I'm also going to go back to my Human Resources and back to my folder Job Descriptions. And what we have now is the document type showing here. I'm going to just choose this one document, for example, and go into my Details pane because I want to see what it looks like. As I scroll down, here's my document type here, and if I click it, I can see it's now a drop down, and I can choose the type of document it is. So that makes it really easy for people to fill in and also to know what type of data they're supposed to fill in. But if I'm curious about what radio buttons looks like, let's close the Details pane, let's unselect that document, let's go back into the Gear and go back into Library Settings. Let's go down to the columns and change document type from being a choice to now being, well, it's still a choice, but to being radio buttons rather than a drop-down menu. So I'm now going to scroll down and go OK and save that. I want to go back to my Human Resources, back to my folder called Job Descriptions, and I'm going to choose a particular document and go into the Details pane. And in the Details pane, I'm going to scroll down because I need document type. And when I click the document type, see how it varies. It's no longer a drop down, it's now radio buttons. So that's the effect of those choices. And I'll just close the Details pane and unselect the option. So the choice column is rather nice, and you can just add column, choose a choice column, and then just fill in the choices. But where I wanted to make it a little bit different is what if you wanted to change one of the columns you've already got and the way it looks and operates. And that's when we go into the Gear and into Library Settings. Now it's not only in here that you get to select a column and change it, but it's also in here that you get to delete columns. So if I wanted to, I could go into document type and I could actually delete that particular column. And that would be just by hitting this button here. But I'm not going to, I'm just going to go cancel, and I might then just go back to Human Resources and back to the folder.